So yesterday was worldwide, like officially, Cloud Strife's birthday, right? So it got me to thinking about some stuff with Cloud that we've talked about kind of before, but I didn't really expound or elaborate upon, and a lot of you all are new to the channel. So I wanted to talk today about why I think that, well, the most important aspect of Cloud that they have to get right in Remake moving forward. And I think this is one of the reasons that we gravitate toward that character a whole lot. Why Cloud is one of, actually, you know, people say he's emo and stuff. That's broad paint stroke stuff that smooth brain people do, right? That's a smooth brain thought. Cloud is not emo. Cloud has a lot of weird stuff going on, and once he snaps out of it, he's not that dude anymore until Advent Children, right? Until Advent Children. He's very much a go-getter in the last third of the game once he comes out of the live stream and once he figures out who he really is, and Tifa helps put him back together, and the party, you know, unifies around him and makes the ultimate version of Cloud that we all know and love from the story. Before we get into all that, the business real quick. Follow me on social media up here, Twitter and Instagram, Kaufman20XX. Consider becoming a Patreon member right there, or a YouTube member, one of the two. Appreciate all the love and support you all are giving me. Want to give a quick shout out to Aaron Hall, Steven Saunders, and Nelson, three of my really big supporters on the channel. Of course, Dandy, God Among Men. Appreciate you all. All the support you all are giving me over there. Follow me on Twitch TV right here as well. So we're going to be getting back to streaming probably tonight. It'll be in the wee hours of the morning, but it might be tonight. The thing they have to get right with Cloud is the mental break. Now, I know I've discussed this before in a video, but I kind of want to expound upon it because new things have kind of come to light as far as the story goes. Some things that Cloud remembers in this version of the story that he didn't remember in the previous version of the game, whether it's like creative rewrites or what have you, whatever you want to say about that. Whatever the case may be, this Cloud is a little bit different than the previous Cloud, also in the fact that the planet can speak to him. Because we see that throughout the story, the green flashes, the planet trying to send things to Cloud. Why that is this time around, we don't know, other than this is a new time loop. And the first game is probably the very first time loop when everything was established how it needs to go, when things are recreated. Yada yada. We'll do another story about that, or another video about that in another time. The thing they absolutely have to get right with Cloud is his mental break. Why is it so important? Because it's what gives gravity to the character. It's what makes the character so relatable. He's this flawed, fractured hero, and he's not emo, right? He's emo in Advent Children. He is emo as emo AF in Advent Children. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. In Final Fantasy VII, he's a dude dealing with stuff. And in Advent Children, you can say that too, but when he's dealing with things and he doesn't know who he is yet, he's putting forth this bravado. He's acting like Zack. So when he comes out of the live stream and he's fixed and he's put back together and everything, he is cognizant of what he was doing the whole time, not being himself. And then he starts being himself. The Let's Moseys, the dorky kind of trying to be cool, but you're not very cool kind of demeanor, but rising up to be the hero that he can be. To me, that's Cloud. To me, that's Cloud Strife. Is this dorky dude who's not what you think what hero would be, but he rises up to be the world's like greatest hero. He's not Zack. Zack is your prototypical hero, you know, that people swoon over and the people, you know, want to be like in life and everything. Cloud's not that dude. Cloud's like more real. He's like more of like your average small town kind of individual who aspires for great things and is like, oh, I'm kind of a dork. I'm kind of insecure about this or that. I'm going to try and be like this. I'm going to try and be like that. He like submits to who he really is, but then still becomes a hero in spite of being dorky and not being your typical hero type guy once he figures out who he is. So the mental break, why it's so important is because when he figures out who he is, when he figures out what's going on, it puts him in this turmoil, it puts him in this position, and the game in a different position to where other people have to take over. There's this whole mystery. Where's Cloud? What happened to Cloud? He fell into the planet. What is going on? How can he possibly still be alive? How can we ever find him? If you think of Gaia as being bigger than just this map that you rotate around, like if you think of Gaia as like Earth, if me and all of you all were on a quest to save the world, and one of us or me or somebody like that were questing through Yosemite, and the ground opens up and me or one of you falls into it, that the chances of us popping up somewhere in Hawaii, which is essentially what happens in Final Fantasy VII, is probably, those chances are remote. So when I think of Final Fantasy VII and what happens with that, I think of it in that scope. I always did. I always thought of it like, the party hung on to hope that maybe they would see Cloud again at some point, or maybe, just maybe he's out there somewhere and the planet spit him out. I always related to it in those terms. So the fact they even find Cloud is a miracle. But then how Tifa has to put him back together, show him who he really is. That is one of the greatest moments of the entire game. And the moment when you're in the whole construct of Cloud's mind, when they're in the live stream and you're passing back and forth through these different memories and it's playing the music and everything, I feel like that is one of the most profound moments in all of gaming. In all of gaming. That is the point when Final Fantasy VII, for me, went from being this excellent RPG, and at that time I was still like, man, Chrono Trigger is the greatest game ever made, and I love Final Fantasy VI. Well, at the time I was saying Final Fantasy III, right? And Final Fantasy II. I was like, but this game's really good too. This game is so good. I can't wait to finish it. At that point, when you go through that point with Cloud and Tifa and putting him back together, you are playing a movie. You are in the film. That is the point in that game. It may be different for you, but that was the point in the game where I felt like I am in this game. I am the character in this game. It was so profound that is the moment that I think of when I think of Final Fantasy VII. That point, that moment is important. It has to be untouched in Remake. That, of course, it's going to look different, it's going to look beautiful and everything, but how that plays out, they can add a little more to it. They can maybe even add another memory sequence or two in that sequence, but the feel and the mood and everything about that sequence has to be exactly perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, if they want to add stuff, but what's in there needs to stay in there. And as it is, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. I think that's so important, and that is what makes that game for me. I hope they get that right. And then when Cloud, all versions of himself come back together, come down to Tifa, and they come out, and he is Cloud Strife. He's not like the Shinra experiment. He's not this or that or whatever. He's not like trying to be Zack. He's not looking up to Sephiroth. He's not idolizing Sephiroth. He is that dude. He is the hero of the game. He is the leader of the party. He is the guy that everybody rallies around at that point. And that is why it's so important. Advent Children had cool action set pieces with Cloud, but I don't feel like Cloud Strife and Advent Children was a very good character. What we get the second half, the last third of Final Fantasy VII with Cloud is the absolute best version of Cloud Strife in anything they've ever produced. Take him out of Kingdom Hearts, take him out of Advent Children, and I think they're going there in Remake, so I'm not throwing Remake in there, right? He was great in Remake for what he is, but he's not. We know he's not who he's going to be yet in Remake, right? So that has to be dead on. That has to be perfect. That has to be exactly as it is. So I'm hoping that's what they do. Let me know your thoughts on that. Throw a comment below. Let me know what you think of that. I'm excited. I'm ready to see some stuff, but I want them to take their time. I want it to be correct. I want it to be right. I want it to be right where they want it. I'm looking forward to 16, of course. I can't wait to see more stuff on 16. We've only seen just a little bit and a little bit of bio stuff on the web or whatever. But you know, things have cooled off a little bit with Remake as far as news and things. But I'm so excited. Like I'm really just every day. And I have watched a few of the videos that you all have told me I should check out. I've gone back and watched a little bit of that stuff. Hasn't changed my mind on what's going on in the least. Like, I think it's fascinating. The thing I think is most fascinating as far as theories that are out there right now is the Zack is really dead and he's in the live stream right now. I think that's got merit. I think that's got some legs. But I still don't think that's what's going on. Only from the perspective of, I don't know, we'll have to, that'd be a whole other video as well. I've kind of talked about that in another video, but a lot of you all have been asking me my thoughts on that. There's a video, I forget which one it is, but you know, check that out. But yeah, I've talked about that a couple times in videos. But I think of all the theories floating around out there that don't really jive with what I'm thinking, that's the one I'm most open to. I think that's got a lot of legs to it. And actually, I'm kind of leaning towards saying I'm wrong about what's going on with Zack. And I think that's actually accurate. Whoever came up with that theory about Zack really being dead and he's going through the live stream, the only reason I don't like it is because it shows him carrying Cloud to Midgar. No, if after he dies, that's kind of what his spirit is thinking he's doing or whatever, I mean, it's still kind of to show that. Now, if it just showed Zack in Midgar, not showing him packing Cloud to Midgar, if it didn't show that, just showed him in Midgar, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's totally dead. He's just in the live stream thinking he's doing stuff. Then, but the fact they showed him carrying Cloud to Midgar, I was like, oh man, why did Square do that? You know, if this is what they're doing, I hope not, because it comes off as a troll. But we'll wait and see, right? Wait and see. We're all just guessing right now. But anyway, as far as my hopes, I'm probably gonna start posting less theories because I feel like all of my good theories are out there. I don't want to keep throwing you all stuff theory-wise because I feel like I'm just milking the fan base. I'm not going to milk you guys, right? That's why my videos haven't been coming out a lot lately, because I'm not trying to milk you all for views. I'm not trying to milk you all for ad revenue and all the views and all that kind of thing. But I am going to start talking about what the aspects of the game that I hope are in there moving forward and why I hope they're in there, why I think they're so important. So we're going to be talking a lot about OG Final Fantasy VII and where I think some of the compilation stuff could tie in and how they could be doing that moving forward, because they are changing little things to make compilation things fit, but we'll see. I've been thinking a lot about that lately, so we'll be getting into that, of course, here on the channel. You all stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I appreciate the hell out of all of you all, the support, the love, all that kind of stuff. Until then, until the next video, you all have a great day. Be safe out there. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. I will see you all in the next one.